Okay, welcome back again. Welcome to part two. Uh, Another edition. Again, the reason why you're not seeing my face is because I hurt myself at work and have a big bump on my forehead. So I don't want you paying attention to the big bump. I want you to pay attention to the audio. Okay, let's get into the vid. Now, again, the reason why I'm only making this video is because 4 years ago, I will never make a video like this again. But I feel that I have to because, and this is specifically for black women, and I'm making this to be helpful. I'm not trying to disrespect you, but feelings will be hurt. I make this video because after noticing that even black women on YouTube who really try to support you and make you better and give you a positive outlet, a support group, Crystal and Harrison, Angel Ramirez Jordan, Cynthia G, China Fox, Boyce Watkins, some cases Tariq Nasheed, but hey, some don't like him. O'Shea Duke Jackson to a certain degree. Some of you even do follow Tommy Sotomayor. The one thing that I've all heard them say or noticed is that on radio shows in the past couple years, and it was an all-female audience, mostly black men. You have I used to literally say this, mostly black men would call in, and when you would show up, you wouldn't be listening and acknowledging the fact that you had flaws. You only showed up just to complain about us. We have problems. We have issues. Some are justified and some are not. I acknowledge that we have shit to fix about ourselves. But we cannot do this alone, and it's not fair to just tell us to get better. We cannot fix what is wrong with you because we are not in your minds. We are not architects. We are not magicians. We are not that damn powerful. We may say black men is God, but hey, if you're a queen, then you need to go fix it. Now, let me get into this. When you hear a black man say why he doesn't date you, and you see he gives you bullshit excuses. I get along better with white women. I prefer to date some just because he gives you all these wrong reasons of your hair not feminine, all those, that's bullshit. Because the other half I just touched on is kind of these other reasons that have gone ahead. I said it was unresolved issues, usually as a child, from going from a little boy to a man, and lack of black presence and lack of this shit. Go to the first one. The other half is brothers never explain that attitude. Because the thing is, look at it this way: there are a whole bunch of black men that are in interracial relationships who have unresolved in themselves. Sometimes it has nothing to do with black women. It might be men. It might be himself. Those issues, they don't have to think about it. They don't have to resolve it. And they bring that bullshit to their white girlfriend. And it's the reason why I see a lot of non-black women, a lot of other races of women with no black man in sight, but they got all these mixed black kids running everywhere because he brings those problems to those communities. Now, what is this attitude? I had to break it down to 9 links. And yes, and I'm saying I understand what some of you went through with us as a kid. You wasn't a lack of a black presence or a black father. You've never seen black leadership, so you learned to not trust us. Yes, we hurt you. We did something to you. I get that. But a lot of females do talk about this, but I don't think too many brothers talk about it. And I feel like to see that topic and no brothers stepping up to really explain. I'm talking the real reasons is why, not some bullshit ass reasons like, oh, they don't like weave. That's bullshit. So, number one thing is, I feel that since you've been allowed to call the shots and raise the last 3-4 generations, not too many black men are challenging or questioning you or your authority. So there's no one to question you, challenge you, and you can basically think what you want, and no one is going, hey man, is this wrong? Because of a lack of black male leadership or presence, I feel it leaves room to shit not be challenged. And I feel like, one, you don't like the truth that you've done something wrong. Two, I've noticed that attitude, it developed is you may talk to him like a child because you're used to talking to other black, telling them what to do. Three, you talk, which it causes you to talk down to him and at him. They don't like that either. Four, you might be verbally combative and emotionally difficult to deal with on purpose for no reason, or whatever the hell's in your mind. Five, whenever a black man tries to tell you what issues he has with you, you say that one thing I've noticed sometimes, in my family anyway, it's, oh, that's not true. You don't get to qualify or discredit something that you'll never experience. You don't. Number 6. Hope that's 6. You want the respect of him, but don't give him respect back. Matter of fact, that's not even on the table. It's not you getting respect to him is not an option. It's just respect me because I'm a female. You have to do a little bit better than, you should never raise your voice at a woman, curse at a woman, but you can do all that shit when you feel like it, but he can't have a problem with you. We like respect too. Number 7, you're dismissive of his feelings. Black men do have feelings. Male men do have feelings. We just don't show them. And when our feelings are not being heard or listened to or anything like that, they'll go talk to other people. And often it's their boys or somebody else. When you're not hearing those reasons and you blow them off as if they're not important, someone else is listening. I'll tell you this. Those women, white women, Asian women, Hispanic women, they know this about us, at least on the surface, because these black men are gassing their asses up and telling them what they do. They're telling them what they don't like about you or your so-called attitude or whatever. I'm just getting like 9 different personality traits. This is not all of you. Not all of you have these 7. There's a couple more on here. Not all of you have these personality traits. You might have one, but it could be a very dominant one. Now, gosh, number 8, you might not ask him what's on his mind, but you're so quick to tell him what's on yours. You ever think about that? You're thinking about what things you want to tell him, what you need from him, what you want to tell him, what's on your mind. You know, the wind blew too hard, so your skin hurt and wrinkled, and whatever the hell in your mind, or whatever. But you never ask him, babe, what's on your mind? What is it? Did I piss you off? Did I make you mad at me? Did I do these things? Think about that. Number 10. Think about 9 or 10. Some of you have a problem with confidence. When a black man disagrees with you, doesn't like what you say, and he speaks to mind and tells you, I don't like that, don't talk to me, you actually get offended and you feel disrespected. And then you snap back at him, and then he's like, again, get the fuck out my face. Don't talk to me like that. I've had to do this with some of my sisters sometimes. You actually feel disrespected that he didn't take the disrespect that you gave him. So he snaps back at you and says, get the fuck out my face. Because again, the respect that he demanded, that you equal demand him. And that's also the quality of respect that you're actually willing to give him. Sometimes you don't like to give him that. All right. So what's the attitude? Kind of broke it down. Verbally combative, on purpose for no reason to remain control. You discredit anything he says because you feel like your opinion matters more than his. So you're like, well, only I can qualify your problems. You don't get to qualify your problems. Another one, the lack of the quality. You demand respect back, but you don't give it to him. You didn't make that an option. You're not open to hear the truth about yourself. That's number one. That can lead to the other 9 traits. Dismissive of his feelings. Gosh, that it pisses me off when mama does that. You never ask what's on his mind. You have a problem with confident, assertive black men. Because again, you're the alpha female. You were calling shots. You saw mama calling shots, grandma calling shots, and all the other black men had to put up or shut up, get the fuck out the house. Right? You talk at him, or you talk down to him. Whether you know it or not, other races of women see this, know this about us, know this about that, because we black men tell them, and they get gassed up. They know this about us. Surprisingly, you didn't know that, did you? They know that about us because black men tell them. And for the fact is, and let me add another thing. Some of you who go on these other message boards like Lipstick Alley or TMZ or The Root or whatever the fuck y'all going to, let me tell you something. My sister told me this because she said she does this. You women will go around and speculate why you think and make up these other bullshit reasons why you think they don't want to date you or hate on you, but you never bother to ask these black men why directly. One, because they don't know themselves. I sure as hell didn't know what my issues were with black people, because I had to sit down and think about it and figure out what was wrong with me. You didn't. You might go around, because my sister, she told me she does this shit. It's like you're going around and damn near putting thoughts and phrases in these one's head, and you're basically simplifying. So basically what you said is, or sound like, and quit making it basic, because this shit is not basic. And stop doing the feeling and thinking for him. He'll tell you how he thinks, he feels. You just gotta listen. And the great part is this so-called ad, because I can tell you, as far as my white friends, most of them were white females, and they're very easy to get along with. That's the reason maybe why that black guy's with her, because there's one thing that she takes advantage, and that is, and a white woman revealed this. She said that black men don't like all this mouth and attitude. White women know that white men don't like all the mouth. Because white women got all the mouth for white men. You should see my Facebook page. Some of these white feminists, they talk a whole bunch of shit about white men. So they got attitudes too. They just know that when to turn that shit off and turn it on. Because here's the thing. You know those 9-10 traits I just said, those attitudes? You got no excuse, really, in one sense. Is because you understand that those of you who have white boyfriends or white male friends or white friend or any non-black male friends that you've dated in the past, tell me, how much did they respond to that attitude? They did not like it, did they? And when you were done, the women turned on you and his family. The women convinced him to leave you alone. They said, throw him right back to the black community. They threw your ass out of there. So in that sense, you don't get an excuse. You don't. And what's great about it, let me go back, because let me leave some positive. It's all this is fixable. I'm not saying it can be done overnight. I'm not saying it can be done in 1 year. I'm saying this is fixable. New attitude. Now, this is the opposite of what I want to tell you. Because, look, and I'll tell you at the end, the attitude. Listen to what these brothers are telling you, but only if they're respectful. I'm not saying they're like, oh, you fucking black, dark-skinned bitch, blah, 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 I hate you. No, if they're being respectful, but they're being honest. And maybe sometimes you're like, I can't stand these bitches because they're mad and they're hungry, because it's inside. They're not telling you what happened to them inside. You cannot get to the root of the problem unless you listen to what the fuck they're telling you and stop being dismissive. Talk to them, not at them. They'll be like, hey, get over here. Hey. That's talking at him. Because I noticed that when I respond to some of you or talk to you, you don't have a lack of there's a very offensive overtone to your voice. It's like you don't even know it, or you do it. Some of you do that shit, and it's like that turns some of us off. No reason just to have control, because you justify, and this is a very common one. You want control. Again, you don't know that you're not built to respect the males, follow your direction, and being inside. So subconsciously, you already hate him. You just don't know why. Stop trying to qualify or quantify what he's mad about or should be mad about. If he's mad about something and it's reasonable, turn that shit off. Ask him why. As long as they ain't petty and reasonable. And give him the same quality of respect that you demand. Really. As if respect was a one-way street. 2, be open to hear the truth. Tell him sometimes you're gonna have to be honest with you and tell him what pissed him off. What he didn't like that you said, what he disagreed with, what he agrees with, or what he thinks that should change about you or him in this relationship, right? Don't dismiss his feelings when he's angry, upset. He will go to other races of women or people and express what he doesn't like about you. Black men do tell other races of women what they don't like about you. I think you know that one. They know your dysfunctions because we brothers tell them. And some of them have been in receiving end when we're out with their black man and they're looking at you stank. He's telling them. You didn't know that, did you? And if you have a problem with, and you need to stop having a problem with confident, assertive dudes, because you're built to respect confident, assertive dudes in general. That's with any race of women. You're not who doesn't show masculine traits. Consciously hate indecisiveness. You subconsciously hate unconfident, unassertive dudes. Okay, a guy with good leadership skills and decision-making skills. You're built to respect that. All this is fixable. It's fixable. But, and the reason why, I noticed what happened to me, which once I figured out in the 8 years what happened to me when I superiority complex, when I got rid of stop shunning black people and being mad at them, and because of what I felt, that the lack of respect and acceptance that I felt that I deserved that they didn't give me. Once I understood why that was happening and I played a part in that, I had to run into the third thing, was when I sensed that the lack of respect that you have for us, which really was like the kind of that root, it opened me up to even be open to even hear what certain women say. Like Cynthia, like Paris. I can agree with a lot of what y'all sisters say, even though maybe we might personally not get along in person, but I can respect the honesty for what you say about us black. I don't fight that. I fight maybe the negative feelings that I've developed over the years, and I shave it or clean it out or try to listen to the truth. But I can agree, and I can understand your issues with us. That's why I'm kind of like put it back on. Hey, look, but there's another conversation to be had, because I remember when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, you know, now I know that, damn, but and I know that, and I know there's a whole bunch of sisters there, right? Most of them, I realized most black people in the South. I went to Georgia. I was in Albany, Georgia for 2 weeks because I was, on the business. I was getting some training. And I was in this warehouse and this one girl, her name was, I'll say her name, not her real name. I'll say her name is Bunchy Banks. Oops. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. But I said, who's a sister with a fro? And I didn't really know her from Adam, and it's never really happened too many times. But every time when I run into a black woman I like, it's always something that happens unexpectedly, and it's always has something to do with emotions. Because again, we love each other's spiritual level, and if your emotions are fucked up, you won't like anybody. And I didn't know why, but I know something was special about her. I knew I couldn't say. I thought that part of me that would not date within my race was broken. I thought it was missing. I thought it was broken. I thought it was so damaged inside. And once I realized that it just takes a right, then maybe you could be open to date someone who looks like your mother. But that comes with you doing the work inside and shaving out all that loathing, self-hatred, the vindictive feelings you may have had. I had to get rid of that in order to get to the part to where maybe I can see myself with someone who looks like my mother, my sister, somebody. But that took like 8 years to do just to even feel that. And I don't even know this chick. I only knew her for 2 days, but you felt something. I don't know what it was. She had like an energy. She's real gorgeous, but it was more than that. It's just something that about her that every time I interacted with her, it was just butterflies and all this other crap, but for me, it has to be someone that is the opposite of the attitude that I just talked to you about. And also, it's someone. Like me. I would have to been to when I was showing off and very hateful towards black people. Yeah, that's something that came down to y'all too, and made that video at the end. Because again, I'm probably never gonna make a video like this again because I leave that up to the women to make those videos. My goal is to reach people, and hopefully they realize that they need a lot of work done inside like I did. And I'm still working on it. I'm still learning myself. I'm doing till the day I die. But I hope that helped somebody, people. But enjoy it while it lasts, right? Thanks for listening.